What's up, everybody? Today we're going to cover all of the Tier 5 perks in Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War Zombies. It's been a long time coming. It's taken me a little while to get to them, but we're here now, so let's talk about them. Now I'm going to go one perk at a time. We're going to start from the top and move down to the bottom and talk about each one, their Tier 4 and their Tier 5 perks. And I'm going to go over whether or not I find them particularly useful and if they work well in combination when you're all perked up. Now, starting with Tombstone, we're only interested in the 5th tier upgrade, which is to prevent perk decay while being downed. I'm going to say, not all that useful. Really, honestly, truthfully, not all that useful. When you have a full deck of perks, you're going to lose 4 of them if you go down anyways. You're going to lose almost all of them whether you go down or not. If you have 6, you're going to lose like 3 of them right off rip. Not super useful. Tombstone is always lost. Not all that useful. Going to be honest, the devs kind of dropped the ball on this one. The 4th tier upgrade for it, much better. Honestly, considerably much better. Tier 5 Tombstone, complete wash. I don't think it's useful at all. Perk decay is a problem, not that big of a problem. I think that was a ball drop there, that it should have saved more of your perks versus doing perk decay, because when you go down, you lose 3 to 4 immediately. So Tombstone Soda, Tier 5, not useful at all. Kind of a waste of the points, honestly. And then moving on to, of course, the fan favorite Juggernog, which of course you're not getting anywhere without. Tier 4 gives you that additional 25% armor durability, which is amazing. And of course, when you get Tier 5, this one has come in handy many times, especially during Outbreak. It essentially allows you to cheat death once. You know, it depletes your armor and drops you down to 1 health, but it has saved me, especially if you're fighting crowds of zombies with Tempests, because the Tempests, of course, ignore your armor altogether and blast you with lightning. It has saved my life countless times, and especially doing like high round zombies runs on like Firebase Z and stuff like that. It has saved me from some of the game's cheaper mechanics on occasion. It's god tier. I mean, it was one of the first ones I had to bump up because I was like, I want this one. I want it. I mean, the Tier 4 alone makes it incredibly powerful. Like, especially if you're running Frenzied Guard, your armor is insane. The amount of armor you have is incredible. It's stupid. It's great, honestly. It was hard to imagine them making Juggernog any stronger, and they succeeded in doing it. Now on to Speed Cola, which, for its Tier 4, allows you to repair barricades faster, and the mystery box will settle faster. I don't think the repairing barricades faster is all that's cracked up to be. Honestly, if repairing barricades meant more, I mean, you have the holdout objective periodically where it feels like it can be the most useful, but it barely feels faster just because you have such a long animation to go through. The mystery box settling faster is pretty sweet. It allows you, you can spam through the mystery box a lot faster to get, your wonder weapons and stuff like that. Awesome. I think it's great. The Tier 5 allows you to fire and reload at full tilt sprint. I typically don't fire while sprinting. I think it's just an ingrained behavior. Now, being able to reload while sprinting, getting out of a dangerous situation, pulling out of a fight, clearing some distance between you and the Zeds and being able to top your mag off while doing it, really awesome. Especially during the later waves when the zombies, run like Usain Bolt, trained all of them. And, even a heavy armored zombie for some reason can run at 30 miles an hour. But that's neither here nor there. So I want to say it's about, out of the 4 benefits you get, like 75% of them are useful. So, but that's just me. You can take it or leave it. Now, Quick Revive, don't have a lot to say in this one. Tier 4, of course, when you revive that person, a down teammate, you get a speed boost. It's pretty cool. I play a lot of solo, so for me, that's a complete waste for me. The Tier 5, though, absolutely god tier. You go down, if you get a kill while you're down, it picks you up and you lose Quick Revive. Now, if you have Tombstone, a self-revive, and that, you're going to be a hell of a hard individual to kill. So, this was an insane upgrade. I'm really glad they did it. They made going for late wave stuff even easier. They gave you another option to continue fighting. So, shout out to them. Shout out to whoever came up with that idea. I hope you got a pay raise. Now, arguably, probably my favorite perk of all of them is Stamin Up. Tier 4 allows you to use equipment while sprinting. I don't think it's all that useful. I think they just added it because they needed to add something to fill that one out. It's really hard to make a perk like Stamin Up better than what it is, considering how good it is already. So that one, not all that useful in my opinion. There's a couple of instances, you know, being able to pop a stim shot while running. Other than that, I don't really use the stim shots, and I'm not throwing lethal equipment while sprinting around, so that's just me. Now, having no sprint speed fall off is incredibly powerful. I mean, insanely powerful, especially in Outbreak, you know, where you have such long distances to travel and vehicles aren't exactly the most useful thing in the world. It's so strong. You move at Mach 6. Oh my gosh. You need to get out of dodge quick, and of course you need that sprint speed fall off, as I said, to fight those faster zombies and the faster waves, which get just astronomically faster for literally no reason, but you need it. You need it. Even in standard, like Firebase Z, being able to zip around the map at, you know, just insane speeds it's good. It's good. Use it. Make that one of the first ones you go for if you're going for the tier 5s. Trust me. It's worth the effort. Now on to Elemental Pop, one of the perks that I do not even purchase when I'm playing standard zombies. I am not a huge fan of this one. The tier 4 makes it so that enemies take 50% increase damage to whatever their elemental weakness is. So for a Mimic, if it's the Brain Rot, it'll take 50% increased damage. Megatons is electric damage. The Soldats are explosive damage. The problem with this one is, and the reason I don't like this one, is if you're playing on something like Outbreak where there's a mixture of them, good luck trying to keep track of the different elemental weaknesses and such as that. I don't think this one's particularly useful. It's okay when you're playing on like Firebase Z or D Machina because like you know what you're fighting. And that's about it. The tier 5 is it lets out an electrical discharge when you reload, and of course the more you have to reload, you know, the emptier your magazine, the bigger the electrical discharge. This one is really useless. In fact, all it does is that electrical discharge is just in your way. The particle effect is crazy on your screen. It messes up your view. There's just more stuff going on that doesn't need to be there. And it doesn't do anything unless you do a full mag dump and reload. It does nothing. I found this one a complete and utter waste of time. This one's no good in my opinion. They need to buff it. They need to do something with it because it is no good. And now on to the ever useful Deadshot Daiquiri. Now this one, no surprise, the upgrades were extremely good. Tier 4 gives you just a flat out 10% increase to your critical hit damage. Awesome. Tier 5 though, each consecutive hit does 2% damage up to a max of 20% damage on the same target. Now this one I wasn't entirely sure if it was going to be any good until you fight something like a Megaton or a Soldat or something with a lot of health and they're kind of hard to take down, and all of a sudden you're dumping a lot of rounds real fast. You can deal a massive amount of damage and it helps take down targets, especially if you're getting critical hits. I've noticed tearing through Megatons in considerably faster speeds than I'm used to. Now I think it's a very awesome upgrade, especially if you're using something like a submachine gun, which I think the submachine guns are utter trash in zombies. I think they are the worst picks. Even the pistols are better in my opinion. Deadshot Daiquiri's new upgrades make them more viable. Now of course you need to get Deadshot Daiquiri first, but neither here nor there. I might do a video on how I feel about the different weapon classes in zombies, but Deadshot Daiquiri upgrades, amazing. It was hard to think of how they were going to make that one stronger, and they did again. So really, really grateful for that one. This was probably my third one I upgraded the tier 5 right away. So that's high praise. High praise indeed. So all in all, what are you left with? Well, when you have all 7 perks, you're a mad lad. You're crazy. You're super fast. You can do everything quickly. I mean, there's nothing slowing you down. Nothing stopping you. You deal a ton of damage. You can take a ton of damage. And good luck taking you down. And if you go down, you might not stay down. I mean, you got 2 perks to help bring you back up. You have a perk that keeps you alive for a long time. And if you're paired with the correct field upgrades, you're going to be just super hard to kill. Like, even, you know, it feels like you went through the super soldier program at this point. And it's a good feeling having all tier 5 perks. Like, it's a good feeling. Even though some of them don't feel all that useful. You know, the tier 4s or tier 5s don't feel super useful. There will be times where you will notice them being useful and sometimes you won't. For me, when you're maxed out and you're running around, there's such a huge difference between having no perks and all tier 5 perks. There's also a huge difference between just having all tier 3 perks and all tier 5 perks. So it's been a fun road, you know, testing them, getting them all maxed out and running around like a lunatic, you know, as I figured them out and, you know, felt the difference between, you know, all the upgrades and stuff like that. So it's been cool. It's been fun. I really heavily suggest, if you haven't played this or if you haven't done it yet, get your perks maxed out. Go for the perks because your survivability skyrockets. I found myself way harder to take down than when I just had tier 3. I mean, they're huge upgrades, and it takes a long time. Getting those flawless crystals is a pain. But having those perks maxed out has increased my game by a lot. I feel like I can go higher rounds easier. You know, I feel like, especially like Firebase Z, I feel like I can get up into the 40s and 50s solo significantly easier. You know, with more ease. It doesn't feel as much of a struggle when I'm max perked out and stuff like that. So I really, really suggest getting those perks maxed out before you do anything else. Because they, in terms of utility, they are sheer utility. I mean, it's really crazy. I didn't think they were going to be that much of a boon. But when you have all 7 of them maxed out, I can't even, like, comprehend it. I mean, at first I was like, wow, they sound really strong. And then you have 7 of them. And you got them all on. And it's like you just, you know, I don't even know. It was like you just shotgun 10 monsters. And you're just ready to go. You're like, bring it on. I'm ready to fight. I can see time and space. So, super awesome. Super great. In addition to the game, I think it's super, 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 you know, critical that, you know, they keep these types of upgrades going, because I think the upgrades themselves are fantastic. They've given utility, especially for solo players. You know, as I said, I play a lot of solo. I play by myself frequently. And for me, having that extra strength allows me to progress to later waves and get more XP and get more rewards and, you know, keep my matches going longer. So I really like that. I really, really like that. I also hope they don't try to add any more tiers. I don't know how you would make it. Like, some of these perks, I didn't know how they were going to do it. I hope they don't add any more tiers to the perks. I hope tier 5 is as high as we go, because I don't even know how you do it. I don't even know what you would do to make any of these perks any stronger. Now, of course, we will be getting 3 more perks, so we'll see how those turn out, which it's going to be fun grinding for the perks, even though having to grind for 1 at a time is going to be a lot easier than trying to get 7 of them up to tier 5. So, one day at a time. I'm really excited to see what the new perks are, though, so hopefully we'll be seeing those with the coming seasons. Be sure to stop on by again, because I'm going to have everything tier 5 eventually, And if you're interested, I will have videos up on all of those coming in the near future. I hope you like the video. Dislike it. Comment. You should be subscribed because there's plenty more content coming in the future. Anyways, I hope you have a nice day and I hope to catch you in the next video.